This is Cashflow Ninja, episode 145, with Terry Kerr and Liz Nowlin.
Welcome to the Cashflow Ninja, the podcast empowering and inspiring people to discover how to generate their own income and manage, grow, and protect their own wealth in the new economy. Now, here is your host, MC Laubscher.
Hello everyone, MC Laubscher here, and welcome to another episode of the Cashflow Ninja. I have a great show for you today. We're going to take a look at a very exciting and interesting real estate market, Memphis. Memphis is not only Graceland, but also cashflow land when it comes to investment real estate. My guests today are Terry Kerr and Liz Nowlin from Mid-South Homebuyers in Memphis, Tennessee. Terry is a full-time real estate investor and president and founder of Mid-South Homebuyers. He owns 60-plus investment properties and has provided premier turnkey investments to repeat buyers around the world since 2002. He is also the owner and founder of Mid-South Best Rentals Property Management, one of the most sought-after management companies in the Memphis area and a key component of his turnkey investment business. Best Rentals is currently managing 1,600 properties, and Terry has done over 3,000 real estate transactions in his career. Elizabeth Nowlin is an avid real estate investor who has spent the last 16 years of her professional life working in multiple markets as a property manager, a marketing director, a realtor, a writer, and public speaker. For the last 8, she's been working side by side with Terry Kerr, building Mid-South Homebuyers into one of the most successful turnkey providers in the United States. Please share your feedback and thoughts with me on today's interview. You can let me know your thoughts on Twitter by tweeting me at MC Laubscher or by email at info@cashflowninja.com. And please remember to join our mailing list by signing up at cashflowninja.com or texting Cashflow Ninja, one word, all capitalized, to 44222. That's 2 4s and 3 2s. You can support the show by becoming a patron on Patreon for $10 a month. And when you become a patron, you get access to our private Facebook page and a Cashflow Ninja t-shirt. You can become a patron by visiting cashflowninja.com/support. Have you read Rich Dad Poor Dad? Are you interested in real estate investing and don't know where to start or how to get the results you want? For valuable information to get you started, visit JoinOps Properties at joinopsproperties.com. If you're not earning at least 8% on your cash, you do not want to miss the private lending presentation for non-accredited investors done by Jimmy Freeland and Bob Scott. Discover how to create an income stream from real estate without the management headaches. You can access the presentation at cashflowninja.com/private lending. Spartan Invest have a proven plan and system helping investors creating passive income and wealth through turnkey real estate ownership in the exciting market of Birmingham, Alabama. Find out why Birmingham has got it going on, why it's a steal right now, why it's a millennial hangout, a hidden gem, and one of the most exciting investment opportunities you have never heard of. You can download your free report, 5 Big Reasons to Invest in the Magical City of Birmingham, Alabama, at cashflowninja.com/Spartan. I've spoken about the most powerful system on the planet on the show, the banking system. And my firm, Valhalla Wealth Financial, helps people reclaim the banking function within their own lives through leveraging the premium tools and strategies of the wealthy. If you're interested in reclaiming the banking function within your own life and the infinite banking concept, you can access a free webinar presentation at cashflowninja.com/be-the-bank. Liz and Terry, welcome to the show.
Hi, thanks for having us on.
Thanks so much.
Can you guys please share a little bit about your background and your journey with my listeners?
So Mid-South Homebuyer started about 16 years ago in 2001. We buy houses, fix them up, and sell them to folks that are looking for cash flow rentals. We've got a management company that manages the houses for our buyers all over the world, and we're just pleased as punch to be on the show.
Oh, fantastic. Now, there's a lot of exciting stuff happening in Memphis, Tennessee.
Absolutely. 52% of the Memphis population rents, so we're 1.3 million area, and over half of our population is renting. So that's so unusual. It makes us a really unique market that puts us in the 98th percentile for the nation. And it's a cool market for a lot of different reasons. Terry and I will talk about how the stars just oddly aligned here. From the construction style, we have brick houses. That just actually goes a long way. You know, if I'm making $300, $400 a month off something, I don't want to spend $4,000 every 10 years to repaint it. Subtle stuff. We've got aluminum windows, not a lot of wood going on in the houses, hip roofs, incredible landlord-tenant law. Best in the nation. There's no income tax in Tennessee. The list goes on and on. There's about 10 boxes that Memphis checks, and I have toured 7 or 8 other markets, and I can find ones with 8 or 9 of those things, but I can never find the golden child that also has them all. So it's fun down here.
Fantastic. So not just Graceland, but a lot of other stuff happening. Can you guys share a little bit more about jobs, the business, a little bit more on the economy? I know you touched on that, and you did touch on the landlord friendliness and, of course, the no state income taxes.
Yeah. So we're America's distribution center. We have the second busiest cargo airport in the world. We're second only to Hong Kong. It's crazy. You've got barges going up and down the Mississippi, which we're located right on. A highway called Highway 40 runs coast to coast straight through Memphis. And so it's really our geography is our biggest economic driver. And what I love about that is it doesn't get more stable than when your geography is your economic driver. When my investors come to town, they will tell me that they've never crossed over so many railroad tracks while driving past so many semis, while seeing so many planes in the air. And what this means for you guys and your listeners is that's why we have this huge rental market, is that we are a long-term source for labor jobs. Our renters tend to be working for FedEx, which is internationally headquartered here. Nike has its largest North American distribution facility here. It's the size of 42 football fields, and it has 34 miles of conveyor belts. A lot of our renters work there too. And so it's why you've got this awesome price to rent ratios that occur out here. I mean, we're really a global anomaly for some of the cash flows you can see out here.
So it seems like there's a lot of diverse industries over there, which is fantastic, and because of the location that you guys in. And as far as I know, the plates aren't shifting that quickly in our lifetime that Memphis is not going to be in the middle of the country. So that is definitely something it's got going for it. Obviously, you touched upon the very business-friendly environment and the economy. And not only is it Graceland, but it's also in real estate investing terms, cash flow land, which lines up perfectly nice with the Cash Flow Ninja podcast. Can you guys share a little bit about what's going on in the housing market there? You've touched on that it's very landlord-friendly, that there's a lot of tenants, a lot of renters in that area. Can you share a little bit more about information about the market in general?
Liz, if I could.
Yeah.
I just came from visiting with our branch manager over leasing and tenant retention. And so we're managing somewhere around 1,600 houses right now. And fortunately, we only have 2 houses that are move-in ready and not occupied. We're 99% plus occupied right now. We have a waiting list of renters ready to move in, and we're very, very heavily referral-based in the rental pool. So demand is really high in Memphis. Like Liz was saying, 52% of the Memphis market rents, and we're pleased that we're at the top of the heap there as far as occupancy rate, collections, and all that good stuff.
And to touch on that as well, so we're starting to get attention for our low cost of living as well. It's incredibly affordable out here. People are shocked when I let them know that our investment properties fully renovated are between $50,000 and $90,000, and that's in great stable neighborhoods. But to speak to the market, so we're starting to make these lists like best places for millennials, best places for startups. Best places for retirees, which obviously you've got the baby boomer generation retiring now. And so there's some interesting market predictors for where Memphis may be going.
And it's super cool because Memphis, with the cost of living being so low, it allows us to retain a lot of the starving artist types that can't afford to live in places like Nashville. We love Nashville, but the cost of living is a lot higher, and folks don't have the luxury of working a part-time job to work on their craft. So we're fortunate that we've got so much wonderful art coming out of Memphis. And again, that's because of the low cost of living.
Good point.
A lot of positive stuff. Now let's talk about Mid-South home buyers a little bit. What is the value that you guys provide to the marketplace and some of your differentiators up against other turnkey operators out there?
I'd say the main differentiator is the depth and quality of the renovation that we do. We're not buying houses that need just a little bit of paint and carpet. We're ripping off roofs, gutting kitchens, gutting bathrooms, starting over with the electrical, new plumbing, all new central heating and air, new water heaters. Everything's brand new. And what that means for our buyers is they're not buying a house that's in good shape and that's got a roof that's got 10 years left and an HVAC system that it's in good shape. It's got 7 years left. Everything's brand new. And the fact that we've got a comprehensive 1-year warranty that we provide ourselves, it's not an insurance policy that we purchase and then sell, just really gives our buyers a product that, if I may, is second to none.
Can you share a little bit about the process and your process too? So obviously there's an identification stage of the properties. You guys purchase the properties, then rehab them, find tenants for them to put it in there. And then the management side comes in, right? The most important part of a real estate investment. And then can you speak about your just a little bit of an overview of the entire processes, and then also touch upon the relationships that you have with the investors, and of course, of your strong suit, through my research, the management side of these investments?
Sure. Well, it all starts with our acquisitions department. Chris Ulander and his team go out and they'll look at about 20 houses. And when I mean look at them, I mean they'll do in-depth analysis of the rent, what it's going to cost for labor and material to rehab the property, what will we sell it for, and it gives them what we call the MAO, the maximum allowable offer. So Chris is making about 20 offers on houses for every house that he buys. So one of the ways that we've been able to increase the properties that we've been purchasing is to kind of do a bit of vertical integration. So we're able to do a better renovation and not pay as much money as our competition because of the volume that we're doing. Our contractors do not have to give us a bid. We tell our contractors what we're going to pay, and we pay well. And then the same goes for the materials. We've got our own warehouse, so we're buying all the materials from the same folks that sell to Home Depot and Lowe's. Our contractors and our technicians, which maintain the management property, don't have to stand in line for a broken water heater. They get everything every morning at our warehouse. So we've got darn near 100% fulfillment rate, which allows us to speed the project along and keep our holding costs down. So the combination of doing the rehab quicker and being able to provide value to our contractors and being able to have in-house technicians for electrical, HVAC, and plumbing give us a leg up on the competition. So we're just able to do a better job for less money, which means we can pay more money for the house. And since we're doing so much volume, we can sell the property for less than we might be able to otherwise.
And the renovation part actually feeds into property management because we have those salaried electricians and salaried plumbers that our investors see lower maintenance when it does occur because of what we're able to do. We don't mark up materials to investors, which is really unusual. And then we're buying them in bulk, and it's the same water heater in every house. It's the same furnace in every house. So our hourly rate for maintenance is going to be lower than anybody else's, and how long we're in the house is going to be faster than anybody else's. And then the parts and materials that they used are going to be cheaper than anyone else's, and that's a formula for a long-term hold that works.
Yeah, I love the systems that you guys have in place, and then the control over the systems and the attention that you guys provide to the systems. From the property management side, can you talk a little bit about the screening process? Obviously, you guys have shared that there's a huge demand, and of course, the quality of the rehab that you guys do attract a lot of people to your properties, and that's why you have a 99% occupancy rate. But can you speak a little bit about your screening process for tenants, and then touch a little bit upon the relationship? Where does the investor come into play as far as their relationship with you?
Great question. So starting at the application process, one thing we do that is completely unique in the industry is that we don't charge application fees ever. And you may think, well, the investor doesn't pay that. Why would I care? We found it doubles the number of applicants that apply for our houses. And there's a real cost to this. We're doing tri-merge credit checks. Most people aren't checking all three bureaus. My property managers are looking at people on social media. We're doing income verification, employment verification. And one thing I love is what that comes from is, we've been in business for 16 years and we've had a property management company for 16 years, but the management company only managed Terry's properties the first 5 years or so. And when we started managing for our investors, we didn't start monetizing all these different things. We just managed our investors' houses, how Terry managed his own personal houses. And he didn't care about 30, 40, 50 bucks a head. He wanted the best human being in the house. He just poured all his blood, sweat, and tears into. And that's the approach we're taking for our investors. So we're just doing that at our cost. But we're doing criminal background checks. You have to make 3.5 times the monthly rent. More nuanced. I was in property management for 8 years before I came to work for Terry. It is a more nuanced approach to vetting renters than I've ever seen, from checking them out on social media to sort of things like, well, lots of people, you have to have landlord references. With us, they have to be continual. If you've lived in your mom's guest room for a year and you qualify every other way, sorry, go rent somewhere else and then come back to us when you have history. We have very low turnover within the company. It's a really fun place to work. And what that means is we have really experienced leasing agents and property managers. And my property manager has told me that in his years with the company, he's learned that, sometimes a school teacher that makes 3.5 times the monthly rent is a better renter than a truck driver that makes 5 times the monthly rent. So we're really bringing a lot of nuanced and sophisticated experience to that vetting process.
How does the relationship and the communication work between you guys and the investor? So somebody that purchases a property from you guys, is there reports that are sent out?
Our goal is for it to be as passive for the investor as possible. We have investors in 17 different countries and 52 different states. So our folks are all over the world. Some of our investors don't speak English. And so for you guys, it should be as minimal as possible. We're auto-depositing rents into the bank account of their choice. Doesn't matter what country, anywhere. We email a detailed report with that. And it's a very clear, easy to read, like a line item expense. We do an annual report that is all you need to hand to your CPA. And we're very proactive communicators. I was just attending an investment conference at Sea, and the theme I heard over and over again was people being frustrated by having to manage their managers. Hunt them down, not having phone calls returned. And it's our job to reverse that. We're proactive. You're going to hear from us. You hear a smiling voice answer the phone within 2 rings. But, so it's something we work hard on.
You're listening to Terry Kerr and Liz Nowlin on the Cashflow Ninja podcast. We will be right back after a word from our sponsor.
Are you having a hard time finding great investment properties? Unfortunately, the best deals are rarely found locally. Successful investing begins with the right properties in the right markets. Norada Real Estate provides everything you need to invest in the best deals across the United States. Our simple, proven system will help you create real wealth and passive monthly cash flow. Learn how to find the best deals by downloading your free copy of The Ultimate Guide to Passive Real Estate Investing at noradarealestate.com. That's NORADA realestate.com.
You're listening to Terry Kerr and Liz Nowlin on the Cashflow Ninja podcast, and now back to our interview. Oh, that's fantastic. And one of the things that I came across when I did some research for our interview today, too, was one of the things was that tenants supply their own appliances in Tennessee. Because that's kind of huge, because those are some of the things that break down, right? So that's less of a headache for the property manager, and then also for the owner of the unit.
Yeah, you're never having a maintenance call because an ice maker stopped dropping ice, or a microwave sparks, or that. You're not paying for it in the purchase price. You're not replacing them when they look dated. It's just an entire set of headaches that you don't have to to deal with. An investor friend of mine with some properties in Charlotte just spent $2,000 having to get some stainless steel stuff in there so he could compete in his marketplace versus the white stuff. I mean, it's a real expense, and it's the market norm here. We were the only ones to do this. You couldn't pull it off. It's just the tenants are used to it. They have the appliances from their last house. We're not impositioning them in any way. It's just when those 10 boxes about Memphis, I was telling you that nobody else has them all. That's definitely on that list.
Yeah, no, I found it very, very interesting. And the other one was that there was one utility company that supplies the water, wastewater, gas, and electricity.
Absolutely. And that's really unusual. In most markets, you're going to have landlord paying at least water and trash service, but we are lucky enough to just write one check here, and that's on the renters. And I think it fosters a home ownership feeling within the renter where there's pride of it there because they're owning their appliances, they're mowing the lawn, and we have our average renter stays 3.5 years. In 2016, 81% of our renters renewed their leases, which is wild. I mean, industry average is 50%. And so, yeah, I think that fosters that kind of mentality.
So the goal of mid-sell home buyers is just to provide value. And so if we can provide the best value, and for us, that's providing the best quality house at slightly under market rents. And if something breaks, we run out and fix it. And so people renew their leases and refer their friends. And that's pretty much it in a nutshell.
Mm-hmm.
No, that's great. And some of my listeners might wonder, well, MC, why are you asking these questions about appliances and these one utility company? Because it ties into my next question. Numbers, the bottom line, right? So let's talk about a deal for an investor. Can you guys speak about the amount that investors would need to start with you guys? What the price ranges, I think you touched upon it earlier, would be for the property prices, and then also what rent they can expect to receive, and just a little bit about some of the other fees associated with an overall return. Anything that you guys can share within that regard would be appreciated.
So, as we had touched on before, the price point is amazing out here. I have many multimillionaire investors, but it also happens to be a great starting point for somebody younger or newer to the game. So they're about $59,000 to $95,000, with most of our houses being in the 60s, 70s, and 80s. For U.S. investors, they're completely available for conventional financing. You can get a 30-year fixed mortgage with 20% down. So sliding into these very, very cheap. We do have international financing available at 40% down. And so that works there too. You're looking at an average return for a cash buyer. It's going to be 12 to 14%. For a financed buyer, 27 to 29%. So really high returns. People to calculate that stuff different ways, but average cash flow would probably be around $300, give or take. A little higher on the duplexes and the higher end properties, our higher end being $80,000, $90,000 property. But the return on the lower end is really high because you're putting out so little to get that house. That's it in a nutshell, I think.
So, and you mentioned duplexes. So do you guys offer duplexes to investors as well and just not single family homes?
A little bit. It's not a very common construction style out here in Memphis. So in the war zone, which we're not touching with the 10-foot pole, of course, every house on the block is a duplex, both sides of it. And we're not in that kind of neighborhood. You can find some in really expensive neighborhoods that don't cash flow. Our perfect duplex is the only duplex surrounded by single family homes on every side. And we pick them up every time we see them. I would say of the 350 houses that we'll probably do this year, we'll have 6 or 7 duplexes probably.
Yeah.
From a financing side, do you guys have a relationship with financing providers? Speak a little bit about that process. If I'm an investor and I'm coming to you guys, do I have to sort out my own financing, have that lined up, or is this something that you guys would help investors with?
No, our skin in the game is to make sure the house is as cheap as possible for you. And so that's something I keep my finger on the pulse of very, very tightly. I'm constantly vetting and reviewing lenders and favoring the ones with the lowest interest rates and the best closing costs. And really I have an entire team of people. I work with dentists and doctors and folks that are not savvy to real estate. And we consider it our job to be setting you up with the best kind of outside vendors. We have a fantastic insurance company we send people out to. It's who we personally insure with. They're doing $1 million in liability insurance. It's really affordable. It's this really high coverage. And so it's really actually my job to make sure all your T's are crossed and I's are dotted, and with the best people. So
it definitely helps, especially in scaling it, because obviously you guys have grown and are serving a lot of investors. So that definitely helps with negotiating power to be able to get the best deals for new investors coming in.
Absolutely. Yeah.
How do they get started with the process?
So our website is midsouthhomebuyers.com. I am Liz, Liz, at midsouthhomebuyers.com, and we would get you pointed to the right thing. We do have a wait list for properties, actually, though I kind of say if you've genuinely been selling something that makes people money for over 16 years, there ought to be a line. I wonder why other people don't have it. It's just about a 4-month wait, which for something you're going to own for 20 years isn't so bad. It's because it's such a quality product. It's not lack of inventory. We bought, rehabbed, and sold 325 houses last year. We're going to do 350 this year. That's about the size we want to be. But I'm grateful to say that nobody gets out of my line. You know, people just kind of do the wait list and they buy the houses, and the next thing I know, they're referring their aunt. And then she's, you know, and so my wait times have been about that long for 5 years now, but we've done more houses every year. But it's a sticky business, which is a good thing.
Well, on a personal note, guys, I'm always interested to learn what other people are learning and what are they studying and what skill sets they're acquiring. One aspect that I've learned from very wealthy and successful people. So what are you guys currently studying, and what are you guys currently learning?
I just got back from an investment conference on a cruise ship that was really fascinating. Simon Black from Sovereign Man was on there, giant apartment complex owners. It was really fascinating, a big education share, lots of authors with books on real estate. I was actually on a few panels and led a roundtable, and it was fascinating. And they say, you know, you are the sum of the 5 people you spend the most time with. And when you get to spend time with people at that level of love of real estate and brains and money, you're just elevating yourself. So I would say, you know, put yourself around those kind of people.
I just got finished reading a book called The Slight Edge, and it basically just talks about, you know, there is no one big, huge, crazy thing. It's just all about the details, and it's all about, you know, doing the little things day in and day out, and over time it builds up, and that's kind of how Mid-South Home Buyers has done. You know, we started out, you know, flipped 1 house my first year, then 3, then 12, then 36, and just that we continue to just do the little fundamentals. And so I'd say stick with the fundamentals, and it's all really and truly attitude is king. It's not about what happens to you; it's how you react to what happens to you. So I'd say attitude and stick to it.
That's great. And Terry, the follow-up question that I have for you as well, and this is something that I'm personally interested in because it looks like from a scalability and growing your business, that has gone really successfully, and you've maintained the system that you built, that basically that blueprint you had to start with. What are some of the advice that you can provide listeners out there that are trying to grow their business and expand it as well and maintain that blueprint, that system, and have team members coming on that adhere to that attention to detail that you speak of?
I would say that not to let your eyes be bigger than your stomach. In other words, don't put too much on your plate and work on the fundamentals and build your foundation as you go. I would also say in general, look for a business that's all about duplication. You don't want to have the reason that I don't like the retail business, flipping retail houses, is because they're all different. It's not an assembly line. And I think the best businesses are the type of businesses that are all about duplication and systemization, and continuing to look for the bottlenecks in your system and hammer out those bottlenecks with technology and common sense.
Now, guys, a core message in our show is to leave our families, communities, and the world better than we found it by passing down a mindset, values, and principles to future generations, not just money. So if you cannot pass on any money to future generations, and we're only allowed to pass on 3 principles to them to build wealth and achieve happiness and success, what would they be?
I would say life is not a zero-sum game. There's enough pie for everybody.
Attitude for me, it's always going to be king.
Yeah. And life is how you choose to experience it.
Work ethic. Yeah. You got to work hard. So find something you like working at, because if you're going to be successful, you're going to work hard.
Can you guys share the website again where investors and listeners can find you guys, and where they can follow you on social media and touch base with you guys?
Absolutely. So it's Mid-South Home Buyers. That's M with a Mary. MidSouthHomeBuyers.com. And that's
perfect.
Yeah, we have everything up there, by the way. Terry and I wrote that website together over a year. It's about 15 pages of original content. You can see all of the houses we're putting out to the investors right now today. You can play with the numbers. You can read all about the kind of financing options we have. Our lease, our sales contract is on there, everything. I mean, it does my job for me.
And for all you guys that are out there looking at other markets, if you want to learn how to vet turnkey sellers in any market, there's a what's on there, Liz?
It's the 19 questions to ask to any turnkey provider. It's a downloadable PDF report on the homepage. If you look, there's a button, a sign that says, stop, don't buy from us or anyone else until you read this report. When you see that, click on it, and it's wonderful questions to ask any turnkey provider in any market.
I love the educational pieces that you guys have on your website too, because that's aligned with what I'm doing here. No one should put a cent of money into anything that they don't understand or have a complete overview of the process. So love that. I will put a link to that in the show notes for today as well. Liz and Terry, thank you so much for coming on the show and sharing your journey and your knowledge and more information about this exciting market and opportunity and providing so much value for my listeners.
Oh, my pleasure.
Thank you so much.
This is MC Laubscher, the host of the Cashflow Ninja podcast. As you may know, I'm also the president and chief wealth strategist of Valhalla Wealth Financial. We help individuals, families, small businesses, entrepreneurs, and professionals build their wealth outside of Wall Street and help investors maximize the use of every dollar in their personal economy and boost their investment gains. We do this by combining the capital and investments with the financial vehicle of the wealthy according to the infinite banking concept. If you're interested to learn more about privatized banking and the infinite banking concept, you can access an exclusive webinar at cashflowninja.com/be-the-bank. Thank you for joining my guests, Terry Kerr and Liz Nowlin, and myself on the Cashflow Ninja today. If you like what you hear and appreciate what we're trying to build here at the Cashflow Ninja, please subscribe, rate, and review our show on iTunes and share our show with family, friends, and your network. I'm always trying to learn and improve in every area of my life, so if there's any way that I can provide more value to you and serve you better, please reach out to me at info@cashflowninja.com. If you're not a subscriber to the Cashflow Ninja Gushku newsletter, you can sign up for our newsletter at cashflowninja.com or text Cashflow Ninja to 44222. That's 2 4s and 3 2s. You can also support the show by becoming a patron on Patreon for $10 a month. When you become a patron for 12 months, you get access to our private Facebook page and a Cashflow Ninja t-shirt. Jimmy Freeland and Bob Scott have been in your shoes and have used real estate investing to become financially free. They've designed a system to take any beginner to an experienced deal-making investor in the least amount of time. They offer opportunities from basic education, coaching, bridge loan investing to turnkey investments in the cash-flowing market of St. Louis, Missouri. For more information, please visit joinupsproperties.com or call Jimmy and Bob at 314-799-2247. If you're not earning at least 8% on your cash, you do not want to miss the private lending presentation for non-accredited investors done by Jimmy Freeland and Bob Scott. Discover how to create an income stream from real estate without the management headaches. You can access the presentation at cashflowninja.com/private lending. Creating passive income for you and your family is easier than you think. All you need are 3 things: the right plan, the right product, and the right turnkey provider. As an investor, you want a safe, profitable, and convenient way to invest your capital without being at the mercy of stock market fluctuation. Investing in real estate in a turnkey way that provides monthly passive income with very low risk is exactly what Spartan Invest provides for their clients. Their mission is to make investing in real estate easy for the busy professional. Spartan Invest help investors create passive income and wealth through turnkey ownership in Birmingham, Alabama. You can download your free report, 5 Big Reasons to Invest in the Magical City of Birmingham, Alabama, at cashflowninja.com/Spartan. The wealthiest families on the planet know how to capture their wealth and then leveraging their wealth through their own banking system. If you're interested in privatized banking and the infinite banking concept and learning the premier strategies of the wealthiest individuals and families on the planet, you can access your free webinar at cashflowninja.com/be-the-bank. That's our show for today, everyone. Until next time, live a life of passion and purpose on your terms.
You have been listening to the Cash Flow Ninja with your host, MC Laubscher, the podcast empowering and inspiring people to discover how to generate their own income and manage, grow, and protect their own wealth in the new economy. Today's show notes and resources are available on our website, cashflowninja.com. This presentation is for educational and informational purposes only. The information being presented and considered does not consider your particular financial objectives or situation, and it does not make personalized recommendations. This material is not intended to replace the advice of a qualified tax and legal advisor or other qualified professionals, and you should not use the information in place of a customized consultation with a licensed professional regarding your specific personal financial objective, situation, and needs. We believe the information provided is reliable, but we do not guarantee its accuracy, timeliness, or completeness.